Is the AI robot inside of Canva ready to create images for you for your KDP coloring books? First, you go to Canva and you look under Discover Apps. When you open up Discover Apps, you type in text to image. You hit enter. It's going to show you the search results for something called text to image beta. You simply click that. It launches this app and it tells you how you can use it. Either use it in an existing design that you're working on or use it in a new design, and you have the options here, of course, to use in any part of Canva that your heart desires. Of course, the easiest way is to get started. For me, I used a custom size 1080 by 1080 back here, and then I went in and I started drawing. You can see here it adds the text to image here in your menu on the left hand side. When you first get started, it will look like this. This will all be blank. And this is where you enter what is called a prompt, where you describe the image you want to see. Include objects, colors, locations, surroundings, people, and then you choose your style. Surprise me, photo. I've mostly been looking at drawing because I'm looking at drawings for KDP for coloring books, but here you have 3D, painting, and pattern as well as concept art. So I typically go ahead and I select drawing. And then for this example, I would say well-composed, clean coloring book page, solid background, coloring book line art, astronaut in space. And then I would select generate image. And you can see the images here that I've created. They always come out in this exact size, in this exact square format, even in my 1080p canvas. So the idea and the question after it generates the image is, can you actually use this? If you go over to share, you have the regular options for downloading, PNG as well as PDF standard, PDF print, but what type of quality actually comes out? And over here you can see it generated some new drawings. And then of course the question is, once you add these to the page and you take a closer look, is this something you can actually use, or would this be something you would use in a KDP coloring book? In this case, if you were doing some type of abstract astronaut coloring book, I would think these images might be okay. But again, it comes back to quality. It also comes back to, when you first open up the app, you have the terms and agreements or terms and conditions and privacy policy. So you need to click that link. It'll take you over to text and image terms. The first term is be a good human. Basically, don't create anything that would violate anyone's privacy rights or anyone's intellectual property, meaning don't try to recreate characters from famous or copyrighted art or artist. And then you come down here to legal notice, and this is really where it gets into, can you really use this in your business or to make money? You need to read this, you need to understand this, you need to take this serious as part of a business that you're using. Specifically, if you're using these images on KDP, you are responsible for any output you create using text to image. Canva will not make any copyright claim over the output you create, and it does not have the ability to license or release the use of that output to you. Read that again. And does not have the ability to license or release the use of that output to you. When using output in your Canva designs, we ask that you attribute output to your own name and explain to any person who might be viewing or using your design that the output is AI generated. Canva assumes no liability. Make sure you understand that, but also go back and understand that the text to image beta inside of Canva is actually an AI engine called Stable Diffusion. Click here, go over to Stable Diffusion. Here you'll see that is from a company called Stability.ai. And what you should be looking at is under Stable Diffusion FAQ is, what is the copyright for using Stable Diffusion generated images? The area of AI generated images and copyright is complex and will vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. I cover more of that in another video here on the channel about AI robots and making drawings. Check that out in the cards, also link in the description. Also understand you can go straight to the source over at Stability.ai with something called Dream Studio Beta. You can click here. If you go over to Stability AI, you can open that up. And what you get when you open up Dream Studio from Stability AI is the ability to log in. Of course, you can enter your email and password, or you can just continue with Google. Choose an account. Of course, I'll choose Publisher Report. And then you'll see here, Publisher Report, you need to authorize the connection between your Google account, Stability AI, and Dream Studio. Go ahead and accept that. And then you're welcome to Dream Studio Open Beta. This is where you can go in and start dreaming and creating images. So understand that is the terms and conditions or the licensing that Canva is offering, but also understand that this is not completely clear in the world of copyright when it comes to AI images. And the simple fact of the matter is this is actually created by Stable Diffusion, so I would default to their licensing. But let's go back and take a look more about what we're creating and how we could actually use this. So you have this image here that you're trying to create. And of course over here, when you actually create the text to image, you can select Start Again and you describe the image you want to actually see. This is called a prompt. And because we're using the Stable Diffusion engine, let's head over to Lexica. Lexica.art is a artboard or a display of images that have been created by the Stable Diffusion AI engine, and this is a search engine for that art. So if I came in here and I type line art of an astronaut and I hit search, the cool thing is now you're going to see all this art that has been created by Stable Diffusion. And the really cool thing is when you find something you like, you simply click on that, and here you are actually going to see the prompt. You can copy the prompt of this image. You can also look at other images that this prompt has also created, or this style of this prompt is creating, and see if that's something that you're interested in. And then what you do is you come back and you can copy that prompt, take it back over to the text to image beta inside of Canva, simply paste that prompt in, make sure that you are selected drawing or you have selected drawing, and select generate image. Now it is using that information that we pulled from the prompt over at lexica.art. It's not copying this. It's not going to recreate this image. It's going to use this prompt, and the AI robots are going to draw something completely different based upon that prompt, based upon the directions that you've given them. And then of course you'll see here that it created this based upon the prompt that you see here when you're exploring this style. So it's one way to actually control or get close to the style that you're trying to create. If you were creating a coloring book, in this case, of astronaut girls or a astronaut book for girls, then this might be the style that you're looking for. Of course, you can close this and you can go back and you can look at any of these. For example, this is more like what I was creating, an astronaut in space drawn with dots, art minimalist. And you can see the different options here, or you can see the different styles or different art that has been rendered by the AI engine based upon that prompt. And this really opens up to the world of what you can create when you understand that it's all prompt driven. It's the information that you feed the AI, that you feed the robot. And with that information, it does its best to go out and look and see what other people have done and then recreate it based upon the information you have given it. So the more information you give it, the more or the better image that you will get. For me, inside of describe the image you want to see, I was using well-composed, clean coloring book page, coloring book line art, rocket ship flying to the moon. And of course I select drawing and I would select generate image. And I was getting images like you see here. And I kind of like this one. And I was wondering what could I do, or what kind of quality would come out. And again, when I went up to share, what I did is I did download, and I downloaded PNG. And that takes me into the world of AI upscale imaging, or upscaling your AI images, the images you create, making your photo higher resolution. I found this free online image upscaler called Photor, and inside of Photor, you can upscale the image. When you do that, you can create a free account, and you can see here that I uploaded the PNG. On the left is the image, the original image, and over on the right, where it says result, is the result of Photor actually enhancing the image, and you can see it is quite sharper. But of course, this is not free. You would need to pay for this, because you can see down here, start free trial to remove watermark. Now back over in Canva, the text to image beta, you can see I fed this well-composed, clean coloring book, line art, rocket ship flying to the moon. Of course, that's not an astronaut, so I got that wrong. But the point was, I was telling it in this case, well-composed, clean coloring book page, coloring book line art, and then change the description or the character that I want to see and say astronaut in space, obviously instead of the rocket. I was playing with both rocket ships and astronauts, but you can see the power of that is simply in the last line astronaut in space, but well-composed, clean coloring book page, coloring book line art gives me that same style. Go ahead and click generate image. And here you can see now that I have an astronaut image here. It is so different every time, especially inside of Canva, because you don't really have any control over what it is thinking other than you're looking for an astronaut design and it put the astronaut in the back. Sometimes it creates a background, other times it doesn't create a background. I've tried no background, and when I try that, I still seem to get a background. Whether or not you could actually use these the way it is right now, is it ready or not inside of Canva? I don't actually think so. But inside of Dream Studio, where we have direct access to Stable Diffusion with all of these additional options that you see over here, where you can control the things that are going on inside of Stable Diffusion, inside of Dream Studio. If we play with that, maybe we have more control than what we have inside of the text to image beta inside of Canva. But in this video, I wanted to show you what was happening inside of Canva and then show you the details and really ask the question so you can start thinking about this. Is this ready right now or not? Go ahead and let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're using AI, and if you think Canva should explore this, especially if you have a Canva Pro account, and the types of options that you think Canva would put in here to make this something that you could actually use in your KDP publishing business, specifically when we're looking at images like these and trying to create something we could create a coloring book with. Hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.